Hey guys, welcome back to Woods Tree Farm. I'm Phil, and I'm walking back my words just a little bit because it was a couple months ago I got a load of tree service wood, and I complained about it a bit because I had to drive an hour and a half round trip to go get that wood, and it was less than a full trailer load. And long story short, I wrapped a lot of time up in a little bit of free wood. So that would ultimately cost me way more than it was worth, because I could have just paid to bring in logs and would have gotten a lot more firewood for the time invested. Well, I'm walking back a little bit because I have gotten a lot of free wood lately. So my neighbor RL, who actually helped me on a video back when I had the Typhoon processor here, you guys met him on a video. Great guy. He's helped me out a lot, has lent me a lot of equipment and tools and things as needed, and I've helped him a little bit on his place. Well, he said he was taking down a big old tree and asked if I wanted the wood, and I said sure. The single biggest difference between the other free wood and this free wood is that he brought most of this to my yard. Now, he told me he was going to be working on this today, and I asked him if he wanted a hand with it, and I offered to go over there and help. I didn't film any of it. He's got some employees, and I didn't really feel like asking them if they wanted to be in the video or not, but I'll show you the aftermath here. And he had a big maple tree, and this represents 2 dump trailers full. He actually started on the project yesterday, brought 1 dump trailer over. This was brought over today while we were working, and over there with my truck I have a 3rd. So that is the entire tree. He has a decent chipper, a 6-inch chipper, so the whole top of the tree we chipped up while we were over there. And I actually got there a little bit early before his guys were done tending to the cows that he has, and before RL got his equipment ready. I had the whole tree top limbed up and everything ready to work the chipper. So pretty efficient work, I think. I was just able to get out there and knock everything up or limb everything up, and we spent the better part of 2 hours working on that tree. Here's the last load. This represents the base of the tree, and I'm going to show you the butt log last because it's a monster. But because this was a yard tree, it's got a lot of knots, it's got a lot of crotches. This is going to be a joy to work, and by joy, probably used in a kind of a sadistic kind of way. But we're going to test my split 4 splitter with this stuff. So here are some blocks that we already blocked up to 16 inches. There's some stuff in here that easily could have gone in his chipper, and I said, just throw it in. The little stuff we will just use in the fire pit here at the farm. By the time Christmas rolls around, I think a lot of that stuff will be dry and ready to burn. But here is the butt log. Now this is this is the first crotch here that was just like 5 feet off the ground, and just each side of that crotch you can see is easily, I don't know, my hand spread out is 8, so that's 16 to 18 inches right there. And then down here on the other end, he cut a monster size wedge when he took it down, so it's going to be hard to measure the diameter, but easily 24 inches, probably a little bit more. Hopefully there's not a bunch of metal in that tree, and you know, we won't tear up chains breaking that down. But I've got a good bit in here that we can already start working, and then some of those smaller things just need to get broken down. So I need to dump this trailer, and I'm going to take it back to him later because we made such good progress on this tree. He said, hey, what about this other tree over here? And he's got an elm tree that's not as big as this one. And I said, yeah, I'll take the elm too, that's fine. And he was like, all right, let's go do that this afternoon. So that's what we're going to spend the rest of the afternoon on after his guys take a little lunch break. So last week, RL was actually working on another tree, an oak tree, and asked if I wanted that wood. And I said, sure. And he brought me 3 loads of that. So there's been 3 loads of maple tree today, between yesterday and today, and then 3 loads of oak. Now this oak tree, we haven't even gotten half of it. It was a massive tree, and everything here is limb wood. There is limb wood that is 18 inches across. So this was 1 load, and then I've got 2 other loads that we actually drove back near the kiln. So there is wood back there to work. So there is a lot of wood between his 6 trailer loads. His dump trailer is a 7x14, so it's a little bit bigger than mine, but it doesn't have the high sides. So I mean, I think easily could be 3/4 of a cord to a cord per load. And with that in mind, I mean, he's brought me 2 cords at least. So I think we're gonna get a lot of wood, a lot of firewood out of all that, but it's going to be a lot of work working through all of that limb wood and all of the knotty stuff. It's going to generate a considerable amount of waste, but the price was right. And with the exception of this 1 load that I just brought over here myself, it was otherwise free wood, plus my labor assisting him today for a couple hours. So yeah, I feel way better about this free wood because the majority of it was brought to the yard for me, but also because I'm helping my neighbor out. And you know, he has helped me out plenty of times with different favors and with his expertise. And I am happy to return the favor by giving him a place to bring this wood, and by also offering a little bit of my time to help him out. I just looked over here and noticed there's 3 bundles missing. So should be 20 bucks in here. My camera that I have on the stand, oh, nothing in that one. The camera I have on the stand is currently dead. Need to charge it. Hey, there we go. Had a 20 over in that box. All good. So I've been leaving this a little bit bare. I want this older wood to get out of here before I put newer wood. What I've started to notice is if there's light colored wood, you know how it gets the gray color on the ends. If there's light colored fresh wood that's not sun stained, then people will tend to take that instead of the other wood that is sun stained. So I am leaving all of that here for now, and I could always pull wood from there for like a bulk firewood delivery or something if it ends up not going, but eventually it'll go. So last video I told you guys we were going to come out here and start kind of setting up some of this area that I've cleared for my wood yard, but I need to do a few things prior to that. I need to do some more cleanup in this area. There's still a lot of debris down, stuff that I've cut. Here's part of a pine tree, for example. Over here, I have several piles of debris off in that direction, so some cleanup needs to happen. There was also a pile of logs that I brought over here with the dump trailer probably like, I don't know, 3 months ago, and never did anything with, so it all needs to get cleaned up and out of the way. So yesterday, I was out here, didn't film anything. It was on and off rainy all day, and I just didn't feel like getting the camera out. But I bucked up a good chunk of the wood pile that was out here. So now I just need to split it, cart those crates out of the way. A couple more logs over here to buck up still. And then the other 2 dump trailers full of wood that we got from neighbor RL are over here as well. So we've got this pile of oak, and we've got that pile of oak, and that stuff needs to get tended to at some point, though both of those piles are actually out of the way a little bit, so I don't need to worry about them as much. But this area in here is actually where we bring the tractor in and out, so this does need to get cleaned up. Next up, we need to get the sprinkler going on some Christmas trees and the firewood over there. There's probably enough bucked up to do 2 more crates. One's going to be a dedicated hickory crate, but the pump ran out of fuel. I need to relocate where the sprinkler is sitting, and I need to dig out of these weeds and tall grass over here a section of lay flat hose so we can extend its current run and get it up in this area over here. I need to find its male end. I haven't found any ends yet. How's that possible? There's an end. That's the female end. That's going to go on the sprinkler side. So trying to figure out where the sprinkler goes next. So I can kind of just look and see where it's damp from our last section. Kind of kick up the soil right here, and I can see that by my shoe is damp. And we go over one more row and I already know the result, but over here it is dry. Okay, so basically I'm gonna go to that last wet row that I had and count off 22 paces, because that's how far the sprinkler reaches about. All right, so I'm actually right here. It's going to go right here on this last row of pines next to these 2 rows of Carolina sapphires, and it's going to reach all the way down there to where we just were. And just pick up the big tripod sprinkler, hook it up, go turn the pump on, and we're back in business. It's doing exactly what we wanted to do. It's reaching out to the end of these rows over here and reaching up past the Carolina sapphires up there, the lighter green trees, and it's going to overlap just a little bit with the rows over here that already got watered. So all good. I only filled that pump fuel tank about halfway, so it will just run until it goes dry, which should be about 45-50 minutes or so. And then when I get back here tomorrow, we can fire that thing up again in a new spot. So I just got the text that they are ready back over at my neighbor's place to take down another tree, and I need to get that dump trailer over there for them to use. So I'm gonna wrap us up. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video.